everyone. My name is Alibi, and this is my very first YouTube video. I almost said channel there, but um, yeah. Obviously, I'm quite nervous to be recording this because I'm not much of a you know outright speaker, if that's the best way to put it. But I do, however, I've been wanting to make content for a while. I'll say that, and I guess I never really figured that it would be this nerve wracking until I'm actually here, actually making an effort to do it. So, first and foremost, a little about me. I don't only play Rematch, but it is the game I'm playing the most right now. I definitely play a variety of games, horror games, shooters. You name it, I play it. Um, even puzzles and stuff like that. But um, I want to start this video off by saying, well, I mean, obviously it's in the title as well, but it's that rank in Rematch does not matter. Now, I think in order for you to, who's ever watching this, to take me seriously on this, I think it's important to note that I am, you know, not the best in the world because there's no crossplay and there is no leaderboard at the moment. But as far as Xbox goes, I have maxed out the elite rank. Excuse me. For anyone that doesn't know, that's the highest rank in the game. Um, and now the reason I say that rank and rematch doesn't matter is because, well, first of all, this game does not have a very high skill ceiling. It is very black and white in terms of you have to score the goal and you have to defend against them scoring the goal. Um, Now I get it. There's a lot of clips and YouTube videos going around of people doing all these flashy tricks and everything in order to score. But I'm here to tell you right now, as someone who plays this game almost religiously, you don't need to do that. Like even right here in that clip, you don't need to do anything fancy. It is literally just that simple sometimes. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, there are gonna be times where you're going up against a goalie who is literally catching everything. I've had a few games like that, and it is extremely frustrating. But what you need to do in this game, and what you need to remember the most, is that this game is simply about outsmarting the other goalie. And now, what I mean by that is, there are times where you're either going to shoot the ball at the backboard, or you know, do a blade shot or anything like that that will trick the goalie into thinking that you're going to shoot, but you're not. Well, at least at the time of you doing the trick. Um, Now, with that being said, I will probably make a different video on all the tricks that I know how to do. I'll probably learn some more by the time that I make that video, but I will definitely do a video on all the tricks that I know how to do in this game so far. Not anything like exploiting or anything that like the casual player can just go out, open the game right now and do it. Um, Not to say that I know any exploits, but if they're still in the game, I definitely wouldn't show that to you guys, just simply because it would get patched eventually. So what's the point? But anyway, um, but yeah, this game, as with any ranked mode in any game, is simply a grind. Now, I am someone who solo queues, so you can imagine how miserable that is if you play any ranked game and you know that sometimes you don't get the best randoms, but that's okay. Now, I mean, you can always put it together a group of friends, but if you're like me, you don't have friends who, play rematch, then one thing I will tell you is that you can only control how you play, obviously. But what I mean by that is, as an attacker, you should be doing the utmost possible to get the ball down the field to either score the goal, like put yourself in a position where you're able to score, or put your teammates in a position where they can score. So, for example, if you're running down the field with it's you and another teammate, if you're going off more to the side, you should be hitting the ball towards the back post or whatever, the back post, so that your teammate can score the goal for you guys. Now, there is a mechanic where you can like curve the ball but you don't want to rely on that too much, especially if you're shooting from an off angle, like on the side or something. That can easily be caught by the goalie, and it doesn't always, curve as much as you want it to, especially if you're not very practiced with the game. So if you're coming at the goal from like an angle, the best bet would be to either lob it over to your teammate who's also running up with you, or try and hit it off the backboard. Um, but if you're running at the goal directly, I would say this is one of those times where you would have to outsmart the goalie if you're not running up with a teammate. So what I mean by that is you can lob the ball up, above a goalie, or even just like, you know, kind of pass it in. If you play on Xbox, the passing mechanic is just the X button. So you can do something like that, something really straightforward or simple. It doesn't have to be crazy, but if you can outsmart the goalie with like a crazy goal, then by all means go for it. If you know you can control the ball afterwards. Because what you don't want to do is get all the way down the field and lose possession of the ball while you're in front of the goalie. So that can change the entire game around. Now, don't get me wrong, I am showing you clips from 3v3 matches. I would say that 5v5 is obviously a lot harder, simply because there's more people, and you can't be as loose in 5v5. You definitely have to stick to players. Actually should have recorded a video of a 5v5 match, but it's like I didn't want to well, to put it bluntly, I didn't really want to lose my max rank in rematch. But now I'm thinking about it, it's like, I got there once, I can do it again. Like I said, it's not hard to get there, it's just a grind, and I was grinding for like a couple weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, like, it's not to say that I thought I was gonna hit it in a couple days or something, but like a couple weeks of like annoying randoms and everything, and people not actually wanting to play the game. And ever since they took out the, leaving the match penalty when since the beta, people can just leave matches freely. Like, don't get me wrong, you still lose, your points for leaving a ranked match, but like there's no other penalty besides that. Well, people just don't care, and they're like, oh, I'll just get it next game, type of thing. But yeah, I'll definitely have a 5v5 match for my next video, because I'm saying all this without actually showing visuals is kind of stupid. But I did kind of want to make this video in order to kind of explain a little bit to anyone that's starting the game or has been playing the game for a while and hasn't reached elite rank. um, I've seen a couple takes on what I'm saying during this video, and it's that elite matches don't look that much different from your average silver match or a good silver match. And while that may be true, there's a reason people are still in silver. Like, whether you're not working well as a team, or you're not putting like the most into your defense and your offense. And like I said, I solo queue, or if I didn't say that, I don't remember. But if I didn't say that, I do solo queue, and I've solo queued all the way up here. It is important that you maximize your output as a defender and attacker. Now, as an attacker, it is pretty straightforward. Just get up the field and try and score. But as a defender, like right here in this clip, once you get on the defensive, you want to make sure that your goalie is not putting in overtime. You don't want your goalie to work extremely hard, because people, like I said before, you have to outsmart the goalie. So if your goalie is getting all these balls like shot at them and you're nowhere to be found in order to help them defend the goal, they're gonna keep jumping, and then eventually they're gonna jump out of the way of a ball that's going directly into the goal, because they're expecting it to either hit the backboard, go straight in, but it hits the backboard instead. And that's one thing I think people lose sight of, is that yes, it is the goalie's job to protect the goal, but you're still working on a team with said goalie, so you should be helping them as much as possible too. It's not a whole thing where you're just sitting on the other side of the field cherry picking, waiting for the ball to come to you. You have to defend as well. And so I say that to say, as a goalie, it is also very hard. I'm not the best goalie myself, I will admit, but I am a decent goalie. I would say as a goalie, it is important to utilize your mini map, especially if you don't use it while you're attacking or defending. As a goalie, it is absolutely crucial because while you may have like this tunnel vision of, oh, where's the ball, and you're looking for it on one side of the map, there could be a attacker sneaking up on your left side or your blind side, whatever, and you don't know unless you look at your mini map. And that way, you know, like, oh, he's about to pass it to the attacker that's on my blind side. So as a goalie, just use your mini map as much as possible. That is the best advice I have for anyone that is goalkeeping, because other than that, it really comes down to whether or not you jump for the ball or not. Like the easiest way to determine whether someone's faking a shot directly on the goal or not is when you look at the mini map or even just somewhere on the field. If it's not going directly in the goal, there will be a blue spot on the ground to show you where the ball's going to land. And on your mini map, it's actually a yellow like circle, so you see where it's going to land at. So either way, either you look for that yellow dot or yellow circle, or you look for the blue circle on the ground. That's the best way you can, you know, figure out where the ball's gonna land, stuff like that. But like I said, I feel like I haven't been talking that long, but it has been 11 minutes, so I guess I will stop right here since this is also the last match I captured. Just so I could like make this video. I didn't want it to be too long, but I also didn't want to speak too much. So yeah. I guess I will talk to you guys in the next video. Any comments on how the commentary was, please let me know, because I know it wasn't the best, but I wanted to try at least. So yeah.